Since 93 Sports, the only place for sports, entertainment, and the most relevant social issues of today. Alright, Since 93 Sports, back with another one. Shouts out to the LDBC and shouts out to Santee Walden. I seen his video basically saying that Terence Crawford is the worst thing to happen to Keith Thurman or Errol Spence, and it could be the other way around because Terence Crawford's a guy moving up, and if either of these guys beat him, they would get all the credit in the world, even though he's a smaller guy moving up. I would like to see Terence Crawford get some good fights in at 147 before he goes after these guys. Even the Jeff Horn fight for him, I don't see it being a real easy fight because Jeff Horn's not the kind of guy that's gonna let him off the hook. He's gonna, pressure him and show him that, hey, I'm a bigger guy, and he's gonna throw his weight on him. Errol Spence Jr. is gonna do that as well. Now, Keith Thurman, we've seen him in there with the guy who was moving up, only had three fights at the weight in Danny Garcia, and he kind of gave him a little bit more respect than he should have. And I don't think Jeff Horn or Errol Spence, who are big guys at 147, are going to give him as much respect as they would give a guy that they feel is the same size as them. So I don't see Terence Crawford just going up there and dominating these guys. And we all know the saying, how it goes, a good bigger guy will always be a great little guy. And I think that you got to take that with a grain of salt. Now, I'm not going to say skills aren't anything, because if that was the case, then I couldn't make any argument for the Lomachenko and Rigondeaux fight. So I'm not going to sit here and say that Terence Crawford, his skills could not prevail in any of those fights. But you got to take that into consideration. These aren't just, easy fights for Terence Crawford. And I don't know, man. I think Terence Crawford could beat Keith Thurman because, skill for skill, Terence Crawford almost does everything better than Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman is the kind of guy that's gonna try to outbox Terence Crawford. He's gonna make it. He's gonna try to box him, and he's not gonna beat Terence Crawford in a boxing match. Okay, he's gonna have to be a fight. Now, Errol Spence, on the other hand, yes, Terence Crawford has better skills than Errol Spence as well, but Errol Spence is gonna force Terence Crawford to fight. And whenever we've seen Terence Crawford vulnerable, it's always been when he's been forced to fight. When he tried to fight, Gamboa too much, he got hit. And Terence Crawford is a guy with a lot of pride, so he can be forced into a fight. And I believe Spence will force him into a fight, and it would just be too much for Terence Crawford. But again, his skills could prevail. It'd be interesting fights, but man, I just don't want to see him just go up in there and try to go after these guys right away. I would like to see him get some notable names on his resume. I don't want to see him going, get these easy shit fights like Danny Garcia did. I believe when Danny Garcia went to 47, I know he fought Guerrero, he fought Samuel Vargas, and man, I can't remember who the other guy he fought at 147. I'm not sure. Y'all have to oh no, he fought Paulie Malignaggi. So Paulie Malignaggi, Robert Guerrero, and Samuel Vargas are supposed to get you ready for Keith Thurman. Nah, we can't do that. We need a little bit more credible. I mean, Robert Guerrero, he's a credible name, and Paulie Malignaggi as well. But those guys were over the hill at the point that Danny Garcia fought him. So we need some credible wins for Terence Crawford before he can go in there with these bigger guys, man. He just needs something, man. Even if we could get him in there with a Kell Brook, that would be cool. I mean, Kell Brook's a big guy, but we know he's beatable. So, put him up in there with somebody like that, man, or Jesse Vargas, some of these tough guys, some of these contender level guys, man. But that's my thoughts, man. I don't think Keith Thurman or Errol Spence are easy fights for Terence Crawford. I definitely believe Terence Crawford will win the Keith Thurman fight just because Keith Thurman is going to try to box him. I would favor Earl Spence in a fight against Terence Crawford at this point, because I don't know how sturdy or Terence Crawford's gonna be at that weight. But that's my thoughts, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified when all my latest content drops. And I'm out.